sound of footsteps in the dark, to voices that may not be quite human, to the sound of screams in the night. The Haunted Cabaret, the home of all things horror, on Rhode with your host, George Garner. The Haunted Cabaret starts now. All right, that was Black Sabbath, Air Dance, off the Never Say Die Sabbath album. And this is the Haunted Cabaret here on Rhode Island Free Radio. And what can we call this episode but the death of Cecil the Lion? I'll tell you, this, a national tragedy. No, I'll go one step further. A planet-wide tragedy. I mean, no longer is the American news concerned with police officers shooting down black people, so you black people are out of luck. The focus has shifted off you. Tough luck. The spaceship that went to Pluto might as well never have been launched because nobody gives a damn about that either. Forest fires are burning California to the ground. I think that's...
And California has no water.
To put out said fires.
Like I said, fires are burning California to the ground, but it doesn't matter whether or not they have water or a squirt gun or they're pissing on it because nobody gives a damn anymore. They did up until a couple of days ago, but that was before the death of Cecil the Lion. I think the only story that got any airplay along with Cecil was the R.I.P., rest in peace, for Roddy Piper. That Cecil didn't manage to bump Roddy Piper off the news.
He never could.
No, which, that says something for the rowdy one. May he rest in peace.
Hey, he's a lion among lions now.
Who?
That was corny.
Yeah, that was just bad.
It was. It was a Lauren joke. You're welcome, Lauren.
It was a what?
Yeah, he doesn't know what a Lauren is, so we're not going to...
It's safer that way.
We're not going to torture him with that. Although that is a good idea for when next time he pisses me off.
Torture for the goner.
Okay, I want to ask you during a music break what a Lauren joke is and why it's destroying the introduction to my show this week.
She's just really good at that today. The destruction of anything good.
I think we're going to put her. Speaking of Roddy Piper, how about if we put her in like an isolated steel cage?
Okay.
With her information sources.
Cool.
And we'll basically.
So you're just going to leave me in a cage with internet? That's fine.
No, we're going to set you on fire in the cage too. No, of course. No, we value your research. Just not.
Comes a day late.
Just not your comments sometimes at the top of the show.
Yeah.
You should have left me in the corner where you guys had me before.
Well, the refrigerator took your corner up because it's cooler than you.
Yeah, plus you were squeaking around on that damn chair the whole time. We might as well put you to work.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't sit still well.
I mean, the refrigerator is full of beer before it's drunk. You're only full of beer after it's drunk.
Oh.
But no, Nurse Misery, we do value your presence here. Just don't F up my introduction to my show when I am trying to eulogize something as important. Something as important as the death of Cecil the Lion.
That is very important.
I mean, all I can think of that got as much notoriety over the centuries of humankind as this lion is maybe the death of Christ, maybe the astronauts landing on the moon.
The lion's still cooler.
The lion's definitely getting more airplay. I can tell you that.
I would feel more sympathy.
The only thing they haven't done is made plans to drag the rotting carcass of this lion through New York for a ticker tape parade.
Well,
wow. And what is the lion's accomplishment? It was shot to death by a psychotic dentist.
I told you, never trust dentists, man.
There's
something wrong with them.
I'll tell you, he might as well shut down his practice because
no one's going to want him in their mouth.
No. I mean, no, any time you open your mouth to say, you'll think of that poor lion roaring in pain. It's just, no. Go ahead.
Did he trick him like a Looney Tune character, like say to the lion and then he shot him?
I think so. I think that's the yes, that's the unknown story that's going to be broken tonight in the Haunted Cabaret. That lion had a bad tooth. What is being covered up because as Jack Nicholson said in that movie, some truths are just too horrible. You can't handle the truth, right? Cecil the Lion had a bad tooth. I think it was a lower molar. And the doctor was out hunting. Cecil the Lion, through an intermediary, made contact with that dentist and asked if his bad tooth could be treated. The dentist said yes, through his native gun bearers. Sat that lion in a dentist chair out in the middle of the grasslands. The lion opened his mouth and said, and that's when that chicken shit of a,
Human being.
I won't even glorify him by saying human being. That lowly cockroach of a creature shot Cecil the lion through the left ear when Cecil the lion had opened his mouth for the dentist to fix his molar. Or was it a bicuspid? I'm not sure. Do lions have bicuspid? Anyway, Cecil the lion had a bad tooth, and you heard it first here on the Haunted Cabaret. Now, I want to get one thing puzzles me. This whole idea of, this might not be as silly and frivolous as what I just mentioned. The whole idea of shooting endangered species. Now, sometimes environmentalists and animal rights people really irk me because at the hypocrisy of it. So I just want to straighten this out a little bit. Now, is everybody nationally and across the world upset with this because this dentist killed an endangered species, because he killed a specific lion named Cecil, or because enough people just think big game hunting is a chicken shit deplorable thing to do in the first place? So this is what I'm kind of, on the way to the show, I was just kind of wondering about this. What exactly has made everybody so upset? Because if it's just the idea of shooting a member of an endangered species, that is so human egocentric. That has no regard for the animals. I mean, the only reason we care about an animal being an endangered species and there being so few of them is that 20 years down the road, there might not be enough of these animals for us to put in zoos and look at and take pictures of. And, well, we can eat, and eat if you're a gourmet that enjoys eating Komodo dragon or whatever. Yeah, I mean, so is it a human-centric thing, that everybody's berserk about killing an endangered species? Because believe me, I mean, I've never been an animal in the jungle being hunted, but it seems to me that if some dentist is hunting me with a high-powered rifle or a crossbow, I don't give a damn if there's only 50 of me left or thousands as there is of moose. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So what has really got, and I'm saying this in a humorous way, but it really is an interesting question to me. What really has all the population of the world upset about this? Struggles, or Tony, do you have any input on this?
I do not. I that's a good question, and I don't think it's all the world. I think it's just like America itself. I'm trying to be gracious here and include the rest of the world because I don't think China cares.
No, China eats dogs. What do
they don't care, and I don't think some of those aspects of Africa even care.
No, they're the ones that are making money hand over fist, handing over the animals to be shot.
I mean, wasn't it one of the African tour guys that lured the lion out?
Well, absolutely.
So they don't care either. They just looked at the whole almighty dollar. I don't care about that animal there.
Okay, so what has the American public, especially the internet segment of it, frothing at the mouth in a way that they haven't frothed? I don't even think they get this up. I don't even think that Al Sharpton got this upset when they shot the black dude. And I don't think anything has gotten everybody this upset in centuries.
I think just because it was an American caught doing it. If it was another countryman, like an Englishman or an Irishman or something like that, they wouldn't care.
All right, but like I say, that's what that interests me. Is it because big game? It just points the finger at big game hunting in general, cruelty to animals, endangered species, which is human egotistical, or because it's Cecil?
You got it right there. I think it's Cecil. I think it's a mascot. They're mad because a mascot got shot, not the fact that it was just any old lion. Because how many lions you think get killed in a year that don't get talked about?
That's my point. How many lions get killed in a year that don't get talked about? How many wild animals get killed in a year that don't get talked about?
Right. For instance, the elephant. I mean, those suckers are getting wiped off the face of this earth just as quick as the lions. You don't hear about that on the news about poachers.
And rhinoceroses and
rhinoceros. There's a species of black rhino that is no longer in existence.